Youth of Purpose. Brought to you by Uganda First.
Hello everyone, welcome to Youth of Purpose. I am Hope Nambala.
And I'm Ivan Tumukunde. Welcome to the show. Hope, how was your week?
It was amazing, I'm telling you. Went to Jinja with a couple of friends. We had fun. How was yours?
I was in the field, definitely. You know, I'm a workaholic, so I'm always in the field trying to find out what is new. But definitely, you know, I love the fact that you're out to embrace Uganda. I was looking through your photos and I saw how you're having fun in Jinja. That's one way of being patriotic, embracing the beauty of Uganda. I do encourage all other guys to make sure that you embrace local tourism. Go and visit all the beautiful places in Uganda. Go to the wildlife centers, go to the national parks and try to find out what is so good about Uganda. Get to understand what Uganda is all about. So Hope, last week we were discussing about understanding patriotism as an ideology, but definitely on the social media platforms, many of you are asking, what does an ideology mean? So we said, why not get to discuss this topic this week? And today we'll be discussing what is an ideology, understanding an ideology. Major General Henry Masiko, who is the Chief Political Commissar of the UPDF, he will be taking us through what an ideology means and then how do ideologies contribute to the development of countries. By then, when we had him, he was still a Brigadier General. So when you look at the difference with the stars on the uniform, don't be confused. He's now a Major General. Hope, what do you understand by the word ideology?
Now, to me, an ideology is a collection of opinions, ideas, or beliefs of a person, an individual, or a group of people.
Yes.
And you, what do you want?
To me, I understand ideologies as the aspects of thinking and what people believe in, mostly a group of people. Don't forget, this show is proudly sponsored by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps, Office of the President.
Under the theme, Uganda First. Do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms, tag us on Twitter and Facebook, and please comment on every post. We'll be right back.
What is ideology? Ideology is how you interpret about the real world. The world is here. For it, it's there. It's up to you to understand what is going on. So ideology, one can say, is also an aspect of mindset. And one may argue that this is a fundamental skill for people who solve problems. There are people who want to refer to themselves as leaders, like yourselves. What is your role? To lead means to be ahead of everybody in trying to provide solutions. Leaders make decisions. When you are in leadership, the biggest thing you do is to take a decision. Because things are there. There is this direction, this direction. So you have to say, right, I am taking right. But decisions depend on your ideology. So, ideology becomes handy in the decision-making process. The first sign of humanity starts from here. That you are part of the original stock of human being. It is 4 to 3 million years. Humanity, the first early human being, existed only in the Great Lakes region. Only in the Great Lakes region. In Africa. Why would they be not in other parts of the world? That time the world was covered, the rest was covered by ice. That was Ice Age. So there couldn't have been life in ice places. And that's why when ice started receding and human beings were able to go there, they lost color. So you people who are struggling to lose color like them, it's ideological confusion. It's ideological what? Those people who are in the hotter belts are the real good, beautiful color of human beings. You start from Senegal, Gambia, cross through. Should we remain a miserable people? Don't we deserve to be people of dignity and prosperous? So the mission, while we say no more domination, we should also know that our mission is to reverse the misery of Africa. Africans deserve being prosperous. It must be our mission. So we need to be strong.
Yes, sir.
But that then requires to reverse this weakness. We must be big, together, and the opposite of this. Big, together, strong. So integration. And any young African leader should now be talking the language of integration. But you had the president telling us, after 50 years, confusion. When the Bazungu eventually lost power here, we thought we had arrived and slept again. We are still sleeping. So mission number 1, independence. Mission number 2, prosperity. Mission number 3, strength through integration. So our identity is in danger. So they have all sorts of programs to finish us off. You listen to all the campaigns they are sending here. If they can't use AIDS, which we have survived, they will use turning gas in the head. These Indians were colonized like us, but they are not fighting hard to speak like Europeans. They refuse, they remain Indians. And where does your strength come from? When you are a dignified person. So, patriotism for Africans to start saying, what do we need? What are our interests? Patriotism is an ideology of interests. I like to be well off. I like to be strong. That's patriotism. As opposed to bankrupt principles like, I hate this one. Why do you hate this one? I don't like you. So, patriotism is about serving our interests. And how do we want to serve our interests? Which interests? Interests of our well-being. So once we say, I want to be well off, then what comes next is, I must work for being well off. I must create wealth. Can I hear that? A patriot loves people. When I say you must love Uganda, Uganda is not just abstract. It means love Uganda. Begin to say, in order to be prosperous, and in order for us to be strong, then we need to believe in the second aspect called what? Pan-African. Not for just a fashion. I am a Pan-Africanist. Why? One, it's the only way I will have a bigger market. Because I will have more people, more Africans together. But we have also heard that the world is of the strong people. So I want to be Pan-Africanist because I also want not to be killed by the strong. Because that war, the space war, is a very dangerous war. These people are capable of diverting all the things which will be falling apart. They said, let them be falling in Africa, because we don't have satellite to stop them. So if we don't become awake and embrace the need for coming together, which is the spirit of what? We are in trouble. But lastly, is to rediscover ourselves that once upon a time, we were together. Yesterday, in Karamoja where I was, there is a world war beginning to simmer there. Do you know simmering? Something about to explode. A world war between Bokola and some people in the Katap, that they are fighting for a border. Really? That there is a border conflict in Uganda, inside? And you find politicians are shouting. You ask them, before 1900, was there a borderline? They don't know. But let's all be in this hall, get knowledge together. Are we together? Then we shall take our own decisions.
Wow, all these are very beautiful insights. I do believe that the journal has been able to elaborate and put clearly what an ideology means.
I personally understood one thing because it was relating the word ideology to the word patriotism.
So linking patriotism to the ideology, one thing that I learned is that patriotism is an ideology of interests. Let's say a country like Uganda, we might have an ideology, or we have the ideology of patriotism, socio-economic transformation, and Pan-Africanism. So those are our interests. The Secretariat for Patriotism Corps is here to remind you that Uganda comes first. We are first Ugandans, and in the end we are still Ugandans. Let's put aside the things that do differentiate or divide us and focus on what unites us.
Definitely. You're supposed to love your neighbor.
Yes. Again, I would like you to know that the Secretariat for Patriotism Corps does patriotism trainings in secondary schools and universities. We have the Makerere chapter, we have the Nkumba chapter, we have the Chambogo chapter. In the law by constitution, every Ugandan is mandated to be able to go under military training.
Really?
Yes, exactly. And this is to make sure that they demystify the gun. You know, because of the history that Uganda has had, talk about the violence, talk about the wars, so the government is making sure that they demystify the gun, and that's why you see students are learning how to use a gun, such that in case of any attack, in case of any emergency, you will be able to stand and defend your country.
I personally am scared of a gun, aren't you?
I am not. I am not. I know how to hold a gun, I know how to put together a gun, and I know how to shoot.
Okay.
You better learn how to.
I dare you.
We are going to have a look at some of the students that went in through a training at Chankwanzi, and they will be sharing with us their experience. How does it feel to hold a gun, and how does it feel to hear a gun shoot when you're the one shooting? Let's have a look. We'll be right back.
Uganda first.
By the names, I'm also Mbarak, and I'm a student of Makerere University Business School, Jinja campus, pursuing a bachelor's degree in business administration, and I'm 24 years old. At school, I hold a ministerial post of the Minister of People with Disabilities. So I came to Chankwanzi to acquire leadership skills because it's the National Leadership Training Institute. In Chankwas, I have learned a lot of things which have enlightened the earth, both in political and social, because we have been having learning courses both in theory and practical. We have been taught the history of Uganda from the pre-colonial to the post-colonial Uganda. We have been also taught the financial management, then the neo-colonialism and our natural resources. We have also been taught the idea of networking, and in this we have been told that when we network and we share ideas, we can develop a good Uganda. So, I would also request that if the leaders you're having in Uganda are able to come and go through these trainings, it will be good for our country. And I'm calling upon all the leaders, political leaders of Uganda, to come and also undergo this training so that it improves on their ideological thinking, to be good think tankers who will be useful in Uganda and to develop our Uganda.
2, 3.
Down. Up, down. Cock once. Cock down. Have you got? Really?
It was interesting. Just need self-confidence and relaxing when shooting, because we first breathe in and you break it. You don't breathe out. The gun was balancing, but aiming, getting to the target, because you may aim and you see that you are in the target, but on the firing, you find out that you have lost the target. But it's good that you have good work.
Uganda First.
I'm Helen Birungi from Makerere University. I'm doing a Bachelor's of Arts with Education. Literature, English, of course. So, my experience here, everything, at first I had fear because of the sound of the guns. And before everything, I tried to handle the gun. It was kind of heavier, so I felt like I could not handle, you know. But again, when I started shooting, of course, the first bullet, it was kind of tricky because the pressure was pushing me back. And so I tried. At first, when I was coming, because I was told Chankwas, we are coming for a training, so I thought we were going to come, sit in class, study after class, go maybe have meals, after meals come back and study. But when I reached, we were given a program of doing jogging in the morning, which is called mchaka. So in the morning, go for training. At first it was a little bit hard because that thing of waking up so early in the morning at around 4 at times 5, 3 there. It was hard for me. But again, when I did it like for 2 days, it was kind of, I felt that flexibility in me, and of course I was catching up. Then again, about the experience of mchaka, these things of marching, mugu pande, mugu sawa, it was so interesting because I hadn't experienced that. So when I got it, of course, I felt like, we have it all. Maybe another thing I can say, this was a great pleasure for me to come here. I didn't expect it, and I know many wanted to come, but of course the number was limited. So if they can give everyone a chance to come here and at least experience me, I didn't even know how a gun looks like try out loud, no one in my clan has a gun. For lessons, that's all. It's not all about anything, it's just knowing about your country and everything like that. It's just fun.
Uganda First.
My name is Chohiro Patience. I'm from UTC, Bushenyi. I love the experience at Chankwanzi. It was my first time here. It was my first time to go cross-country running. It was my first time to hold a gun. Oh my God, it was a very good experience. I loved it so much. Though I did not hit the bull's eye, but at least now I know how to hold a gun, I know how to cock it and to shoot. I expected a lot at Chankwanzi, but okay, the fact that it is where the president comes, we expected it to be, I don't know, presidential, but we found it normal. It was a normal place, and the experience is very good. They've treated us very, very good. They treat us very special. They fed us very well.
Uganda First.
Oh my goodness, well, welcome back from that very exciting training. I'm telling you, I saw those girls.
Yes.
Did you see Mubarak?
Did you believe that girls can hold a gun and shoot?
I was so surprised.
Did you see how they were enjoying it?
The girl said, I was so scared. I personally was scared for her, but when I saw how she said, I was so scared, but now it's very exciting. I was like, probably I can try.
You
Do
see?
you think we can try?
You can try. I already tried and I can do this.
You tried?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I should.
So as you know that on this show, each episode we help you to learn a skill, get something hands-on to be able to do something. If it's not by profession, even if you have gone to school, even if you have your bachelor's or whatever, you can be able to learn how to make different things with your hands. So today we'll be learning about a solar dryer. So these guys are looking at a way that they can be able to conserve the environment through using solar dryers, which are effective, affordable, but again, eco-friendly. We're going to have a look and then be right back.
Hi, I'm Beth and
I'm Businge Pius, and we are going to pass you through the solar dryer.
so this solar dryer is used to dry materials. For example, now we are drying banana peelings. There, the solar dryer we have is for drying briquettes. So how it works is how it's made. We use a plastic polythene, transparent polythene paper, then that we use to cover it up, and then we have these are like trays to hold whatever you want to dry.
So we have a pure shea butter here. Since you know it is in solid form, we want it to melt as we are going to use it for some product we are going to make. The dry banana leaves, we also use them here for other products like charcoal lighters, and as you can see, it can also dry these jackfruit seeds. The black surface under there you are seeing is used to absorb the light, the solar heat. So after some time it releases them. So the heat will come and heat up the material we've placed inside there. So the moisture evaporates due to the heat and passes through the openings over there as vapor.
The good thing about this solar dryer is that even in the evening when the sun has gone, it's able to contain the heat. So in the evening hours, when you come and touch inside, you will feel it still warm, and will be able to warm it continuously even through the night.
The white polythene helps in letting in the rays, and also when the rays are inside, it will somehow insulate the inside surface, so the heat remains inside there as it is working on drying these moisture content materials. The solar dryer can dry a lot of things, mostly harvested fruits, harvested materials. As you have seen, we have the jackfruit seeds, we have the banana peelings, anything with moisture, and you've gotten it from your garden. You just come, put it inside here, let it be inside there for a few days, maybe a minimum of 2 days, and let it get the heat from the sun.
So the good thing about our solar dryer is it doesn't need any energy that could cost us money. For example, our other dryers use electricity, other dryers use fuel. Our dryer simply uses solar, uses the sun. That's its source of power. And then the other thing is that our solar dryer is confined. When the wind comes, the particles don't move into the environment, so the environment stays clean. It's environmental friendly, doesn't produce any waste. For example, the other dryers that use fuel could produce like toxic fumes that could pollute the environment. Our dryer is simply solar, clean energy. What they call clean energy is what we use to dry these things.
The solar box cooker is an improved way of cooking substance by enhance the obstruction of solar energy. So we use the solar box cooker to cook any material that you need to cook, but in this instance we are using it to boil some eggs. What we do is to place the eggs inside the box cooker, let them inside there for some 45 minutes. The heat that enters inside the box is retained. Since it is a black substance, there is some heat absorption, and after it's given out. With time, the heat concentrated inside there keeps on peaking in amount and energy, so in the end it is enough to boil the eggs.
Do you remember when we were in primary, we would use lenses, the lenses that we would use, and then you see it burning like a paper. If you put it in between the sun and a piece of paper, you see it burning the paper. So that's a technology we use here. So here it's a concave. It's one that's able to collect the heat inside. There is a polythene, and then there is a lens here. It's a glass, but it's in the shape of a lens. So this is what concentrates the heat inside onto the eggs, and the eggs end up boiling. Within 45 minutes, you have your eggs ready to be eaten.
This is a traditional solar box cooker, typically made out of readily available material. You can see this is wood, this is glass to let in the sun rays. The walls have been made out of metallic sheet. The metallic sheet was painted silver. So the silver helps in reflection of the light and solar energy. So when the solar energy is reflected, it is reflected onto this downer surface, which is black. And when it is reflected over there, with the time the black surface keeps on absorbing, and the heat is enough to cook anything you put inside there.
Oh my goodness, I've never seen a solar dryer that can boil an egg. Can you imagine? It's eco-friendly.
And then remember, you can also boil water just using an available locally made solar dryer.
No small.
Is it a solar dryer or a heater? I think for that terms, the one for boiling water and the eggs is a heater. That's what I think.
On probably what you want to use it for at that moment.
Exactly, but what is most important is that this is eco-friendly, and it can also help help you to do the recycling and then do waste management. You can use it to dry coffee, but like the peelings they were using at the end, they use it to make what they call charcoal lighters. You know charcoal lighters? Yeah, so they can also use them, and that is recycling and managing waste.
And there is nothing that amuses me like it being very conservative. Can you imagine? Very conservative, no smoke, no fume, no irritation, just the best.
Where else can you get the best other than on Youth of Purpose? Remember, all this is brought to you by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps, Office of the President, under the theme Uganda First. I keep reminding you that we are Ugandans first, and in the long run and at the end, we are Ugandans.
I am proudly Ugandan.
And I hope you are proudly Ugandan too. Remember, Uganda first. I am Ivan Tumukunde.
Nambala Hope.
See you next time. Uganda first.
Youth of Purpose. Brought to you by Uganda First.